My name's Simon Beasley. I work for Videndum and in particular Rycote, and we're here at MPTS at Olympia. And obviously we've got all the brands here, but I'm specifically looking after Rycote, where we have a lot of the traditional Rycote products, the windshields and noise handling products, and we also have our full range of microphones here as well. So basically, over the last few years, Rycote has been building a reputation for microphones, and we started off with two shotgun mics. The HC22, which is a 22 centimetre microphone, and the HC15, a 15 centimetre microphone. We then added some pencil mics, so the shorter style microphones in Omni, Cardioid and Super Cardioid. And then most recently, to kind of complete our range of microphones, we introduced the BD10, which is a figure of 8 style microphone, and also a very long shotgun more for sports use. So this is the HC35, so 35 centimetre. So all in all, that gives us quite a nice complement of microphones that covers most scenarios for when people are actually capturing audio on location, outside, and also we have all the wind protection to go with it as well.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, there's a lot, the microphone market, there's a lot of, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of different brands, a lot of different people that people could look at, especially filmmakers, to look at. I mean, what specifically would you say is the reason why, or a set of reasons potentially why they should choose these over but arguably, a lot of people are using wireless mics, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are using Rode mics where wireless goes, etc., etc. That's the way content's arguably going, right? And some people would say, I think as a caveat, right? Well, shotgun mics are maybe not as popular, or maybe they're not as useful as they used to be because of the new wireless technology.
When it comes to recording dialogue, I mean, it depends on the environment as well. Wireless mics are fantastic. They allow you a huge amount of freedom, but there are also pitfalls with that as well, because you're replacing a piece of 600 ohm cable with quite sophisticated RF technology, and sometimes that can let you down. So when it's certainly mission critical, so TV drama production and film production, quite often they won't use wireless. They prefer to use the wire just to give them absolute security. So for picking up dialogue and things like that with somebody with a boom operator, then honestly, a wire is often favoured over wireless, because you're potentially introducing problems that you don't need to have. So,
of course, it gives you then the option of recording out to an external recorder and equivalent in that respect as well. I mean, do you see kind of there being two separate markets in that respect then moving forward? Like, you'll have your wireless sets, I'll use Rode as an example, but obviously other manufacturers are available as your content creators, etc. And then the more maybe streamlined top end kind of what you potentially would call doing it properly for things like this?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I think there'll always be that differentiation, because, I've always had a little bit of a motto particularly when it comes to wireless microphones, and that is, if it doesn't move, put it on a wire, because, like I say, with wireless you can have issues, particularly with the 2.4 gig wireless, particularly in these sort of environments, especially when you've got lots and lots of people with, mobile phones in their pockets, all got Bluetooth switched on, all got their Wi-Fi turned on. So the actual band can get very congested, and this can lead to problems. And particularly mission critical stuff, it's okay if you can sort of go, we can do a second take or a third take or whatever to get it right. But if it's you have that one-time opportunity to record something, then you'd probably want to actually use a wire and not a wireless. And obviously, why would somebody choose a Rycote mic? One, I mean, they are very high quality microphones at a very affordable price. They're very well constructed out of brass and aluminium. They have inherently very low noise, self noise as well, which is very important, particularly in critical recording scenarios. And and we've got a nice combination of different mics to choose from. So I think, from a competitive point of view, we're right where we should be.
Magic. And for as you mentioned, pricing and availability is how is this price range in respect to let's do some examples maybe from like the more bottom end to the top end.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd put it in the kind of the middle ground, very much. So, we're not as cheap as some of the competitors, like some Rode, for instance, but we're not as expensive as say some of the Sennheiser and Sherps mics. So we kind of sit very much in that middle ground. Our sort of equivalent HC22 to the industry standard 416. 416 is around about £900, and our HC22, which is our equivalent to that microphone, is about 500. So quite a significant difference in price.
Magic. When it comes to actually putting the microphones in place, obviously you've got a selection here.
Yes.
Could you just talk us through specifically like a handful of them and maybe some of their use cases, like
Sure.
and how people would use them who maybe don't know?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, Rycote as a company, I mean, have been known since 1969. That's when the company was formed, and in particular for wind suppression. So everybody kind of knows the dead cat. So the wind jammer and the basket, so people call them zeppelins or whatever. Obviously, microphones, are very sensitive to wind noise because they work on air pressure and airflow. That's how microphones work. So you need to protect them because they're very good at picking up wind and also handling noise as well. So we have a range of products. From things like this, which allow you to mount a microphone on top of a camera, and this then isolates the microphone from the camera itself. So any noise or handling noise coming from the camera is actually isolated from the microphone. So we do all sorts of different mounts. I mean, this one here is for like a portable recorder, like a Zoom recorder. Because if you hold it in your hand and you're moving it around, then obviously you're susceptible to picking up handling noise. And this, you just mount the recorder on, and this just isolates the recorder from your hand or whatever's holding it. So obviously then guarantees you getting better audio quality. Again, you don't want to go home, take the recording that you've done, and then find out you've got sort of finger noise and what have you all over your recording. So yeah, that isolation is quite important. So. And then from sort of stereo bars as well to pistol grips, so this sort of thing. So effectively mounting your mic into this, again you have the microphone isolation. And then everybody kind of knows the Rycote Softy, you see them on TV an awful lot. Obviously that slides onto the mic, I'll show you, demonstrate. So the microphone goes into the holder like so, and then the Softy slides on. So then when you're out in the field, you've got that isolation from both handling noise and also wind as well. So
Fabulous.
Trying to ensure the best quality audio capture. That's what we're all about.
Magic. Is there anything else you want to mention specifically?
I think that's all I've got to say at the moment in time, but thank you very much indeed.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you ever so much for the time.